Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Stacy, and today we're doing a little time lapse of a sunset sailboat piece. A little impromptu painting. I sketched this out a while ago and lost all of my reference photos. I had 4 reference photos pulled up for this one. I did not save any of them. So I decided to wing it and pick the colors I feel like picking and paint the painting my way. So I'm going in with, these are my M Graham paints, and I'm going in with Azo yellow and a little bit of gamboge in that sky around the sun. I'm leaving the hot spot of the sun white for now, and then mixing, what am I mixing? Dioxazine purple and ultramarine blue for that purpley blue for the water and up in the sky, because I wanted this to be a little bit evening-ish, sunset-y kind of feeling. A little bit of yellow in the water and a little bit of the pink color. I'm using my quinacridone rose. I love that color. It's one of my faves. Purposely going around the sailboat for now. We'll get to him at last. And trying to go in and put a little more yellow without turning it green. And I think it reads, once it dries, it reads more yellow than green. And then again with the dioxazine purple or violet and ultramarine blue, and popping it in the sky to give that kind of dusky feeling, and dragging the brush around to give the effect of little clouds kind of in front of and down below. And then it wasn't quite dark enough, so I put a touch of neutral tint in my mix as well, and dropped that in the sky. I'm grabbing I decided to go ahead and put my granulating colors in the palette. I went ahead and did that. So I'm using a mix of Galaxy Blue and Galaxy Black for the hills, the back hills back there. And I drop in some dioxazine purple at some point to try to make it darker, and then a little bit more black and neutral tint as I layer, because I really wasn't getting that silhouette kind of feel that I was looking for right away. Yeah. Really am wondering what in the world I did with those reference photos. I had them all saved, I thought. I must have just pulled them up, and when I closed down the computer at night, I just didn't even think about it. Here I'm dropping in some dark shadows on the water, and then decided to go in with another coat of darker mix on those back hills back there. And this is hills. It's not like a mountainscape. It's just a hilly, like maybe island back there, or maybe it's the mainland. And we're viewing the boat from another island, or because I do put in tree branches off to the left at the end, because I felt like it needed a little something for perspective. I decided to go in with the alizarin crimson, a color I don't use very much, for my boat, because I didn't want it to be bright red, but I did want it to feel like a little red sailboat. And then shadows, and then more shadows. I didn't feel like I was getting the reflection of the hills in the water very well, so I went ahead and threw in another coat. And then I was thinking I should have left a little ribbon of glistening water between the reflection and the landmass, like where the water touches the land. Usually there's a bead of reflection over there. But I will get in there with some gouache and fix that here shortly. This is where I use a little bit of gouache tinted with the mud on my palette, so it's not crisp white, because this is a dusk scene. And I paint my sails, and here I am giving that little bit of depth. It adds a little bit of depth. And then that white spot was just a little too white for me, so I went ahead and put gouache there as well. Dropped on a little bit of yellow and fuzzing it out a bit. This isn't one of my favorite pieces I've ever done, but I'm all right with it. It's not terrible. I do like it better with the bit of branches in the foreground to lend perspective and a little bit of depth to the piece. And if you do a painting like this and everything feels too open and too much, just it needs a little zhuzhing, a little something. A branch or a foreground bush or tree coming in off one of the sides is a really effective way to create that depth. And remembering that it's a dusky scene, I'm keeping my colors pretty dark. So I'm using olive green mixed with the mud that's on the palette to get these kind of dark leaves over the sky. Using the side of the brush and kind of just scumbling about. Scumbling just means dragging the brush around. Kind of wiggling a little bit, and then I decided to do a little bit of splatter for variation, little texture variation. I do like to splatter. It's becoming one of my favorite things to do. If you don't like splattering, don't do it. If you feel like it ruins your piece, or if you want to splatter but you're afraid you're going to get it everywhere, just put a piece of paper over the areas that you don't want splatter to cover it up, like a little piece of extra scrap paper or something. Then I decided probably need some shadows to those trees and that water. Not a lot, just a little bit of muddying about of the surface of the water to keep things correlated. And yeah, we're almost done. Just a little bit of touching up of that shadow of the boat, and then I remembered that, oh yeah, there's sails. So I put those in. And we peel our tape and we're done. And there we go. I like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.